What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are again, back to back nights live with the Emerald Draft coming up. I'm joined here in the booth by Piper. What are your thoughts going into this draft?
I am actually super excited for this draft. There is a lot of known names in this draft. There's a couple of new faces, couple of new GMs, so I'm excited to see how it's all going to go.
Absolutely. And that's something we saw in the Ruby draft too. A couple of new faces, and as always in Emerald, we have more new faces and a couple of like you said, house names in UR coming back for the Emerald draft. And I think what excites me the most about this is we've seen a lot of new faces kind of come to prominence last season. OG Buns, Insanity, sort of become these huge icons in the Emerald League. And now we have a chance to see what happens now that they're known entities, right? They're players on the board, how the draft goes.
I know. I'm excited to see these first round picks. I know that a couple of the GMs have to draft themselves, but there's a few of them who get the opportunity to kind of snipe some of these well known players from those GMs. So I'm so All right, and we've got our first pick in, so we're gonna dive right into it. This is going round one, Vancouver Wild. A D.Va player. And it's Andrew!
Our production's very own Andrew.
Not a surprise at all. The man is a beast on D.Va. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do here in Emerald this season.
I was gonna say it's his first season back to Emerald in a while. He's been running with the Ruby gang for a while, but he's always been on the border rank wise, and now he's probably looking to take some of that experience back here to Emerald. See what he could do this season for Vancouver.
And a team up with Cool as well, bringing the Vancouver name into the house.
Yeah, and funnily enough, even though we're in Emerald now and not Ruby, both previous members of Vancouver last season, so they're keeping the team name, keeping it the same, running it back now down here in Emerald.
And we do have Icy on the board as well. That was also on Vancouver. So maybe you get the gang back together. Maybe we see that later on in this draft.
And just oh, I hear we have a second pick ready. And here we are with the second pick of the draft, the Nashville Legends. A Venture, and of course, Saucepan securing his spot on his own roster. Definitely a staple DPS player in Emerald and a super flexible player. I think he's going to do awesome things for not only his team, but just for Emerald as a whole. He has a lot of flexibility and flex to some heroes that I don't think other people in Emerald play against or at least see very often. So I'm excited to see what Nashville cooks up in some of their later picks.
I am right there with you. I hate to see a venture coming, and I hate to see Saucepan's venture coming, especially. So he's going to do some work for his team, and I'm excited to see who he builds around him.
And honestly, I think one of the big things too is we see some of these GMs from last season are all not all, but we have some members of the Pittsburgh fam. They're kind of divided, so I'm really interested to see how the leftover rosters from season last season get split up this season. Who goes where.
I know you have Bonaparte as NYI's GM, and then as we just saw, you have Saucepan there for Nashville. So the
And of course,
leftover pit squad is Zeke, Quaza, that guy. So we'll see how that goes and how they all get split up. I'm also interested to see Houston split up.
that's true. Houston not returning as a franchise this season, but you're right. You, a former member of Houston, and the rest of you guys are all pretty much on the board for anyone. Of course, Trash Can, GMing for LVT this season, but is familiar with all you guys, obviously. Yeah, she's talked to me a little bit about it. I won't spoil anything, but I'm curious to see how LVT gets drafted as well. If we see any Houston squad members going to the same teams, or if the GMs are smart enough to keep them separated, we'll see.
Surely they keep Mark and Sanity separated. I know there's going to be a riot in Gen Chat from you both, but surely we don't let the team up happen again. And we've got another pick in, speaking of which. All right. Pittsburgh, round 1. A Widow player. And speaking of which, it's Insanity. Round 1 pick here.
And there it is. The Lord Stan, the first to take a crack at some of the Houston players from last season.
I mean, we saw how Sanity worked the Widow on Circuit and various other maps. Widow's not his only player, though. I mean, he flexes to Cass, Soldier, Sojourn. And he is an Ana Banana lover, too. So he is going to be a great pick for Pittsburgh here.
Now, I don't have Twitch chat open, but if you're watching, Mark, you want to be sweating now, because you might be on the board next.
I'm sure he's sweating. There's 4 more picks to go. Maybe 3 more that don't include a GM picking themselves.
Oh, and we have it again from Prod. Our 4th pick is in here. And New York Insomnia's first round pick will be a Sigma player. Who could have saw this coming? Bonaparte securing his spot on his own roster. And honestly, an absolute goated first pick in its own right. He rose hell last season in Pit. I don't think anyone could deny. He definitely came alive on the tank role for that team. They did come up short, but honestly, he was part of the backbone.
Oh, absolutely. He was definitely a strong Sigma and a Reinhardt as well. He definitely flexed to different tanks, and GMing now, I'm sure that he'll be able to kind of rally around his team and kind of push them towards potential victory here in Emerald.
No, I think again, I'm so interested to see these later round picks come out. Because we have a lot of now Emerald GMs that have experience as players, but are new to the GM world, and I'm just curious to see what they prioritize when these picks come forth. Are they building teams around themselves? Is there another player that they want to team up with, a duo that they're looking for to be the core of a team?
And we've got another pick in from Prod. This is Las Vegas Tyrants, round 1 pick. A Junkrat player. I wonder who it could be. It is OG Buns. We saw him run it down on the Junkrat last season. A little bit of the Hanzo flex from time to time, but this was one of the staple names that we spoke about a little bit earlier, and being around 1 pick is no surprise.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I said it, I'm pretty sure, in the Emerald Finals last season. His Junkrat feeds families. If you were looking for a DPS to not only shake things up, but keep the game like always teetering, just in pure chaos, it would probably be the Buns. Just because between normal picks just happening from choke, spam, Junkrat spam, you also see the aerial mines happening into the backline, huge tires, and just straight up goofy stuff happening that he probably shouldn't get away with, but he does.
I definitely agree. I mean, Junkrat is a goofy player in and of itself, and Buns is a goofy character, so I think it just matches well. Um, I am interested to see how he does with the hero bands that we have this season. You know, like I said, we saw him flex to the Hanzo a couple of times, so I'm curious to see what he has in his back pocket in terms of that.
Okay, and with that, our next pick is in. And the Maui Ancients with their round 1 pick. An Ashe player. Dojemeister. First round to the Maui Ancients. I was going to say, securing his spot. I don't have my draft sheet pulled up, but I believe that might be it for GMs that have to secure their spot.
You are correct in that sentiment, I believe. Except for Cool. Cool has to drop themselves round 2 here. But I've seen Doge on the Ashe. We played Miami in the finals last season, and he was clicking heads. So, a great first round pick, in all honesty, despite whether or not he had to draft himself.
And let's not forget, I mean, it came out here and there, but also able to flex onto the tank. We've seen it a little bit last season. It seems like a lifetime ago, but back when Atlanta Pandas had their run in Emerald, Doge was also one of the tank players. So you're getting a little bit of flexibility there too with Doge on your, well, his own, but with himself on his roster.
All right, and we've got our next pick in here. Montreal Stags, round 1. A Life Weaver. We've got Guna. Guna was running it down on War last season, and I know they said in chat yesterday that they're excited not to play in Ruby and running it down in Emerald. So I'm interested to see this too. I've seen them play in 10-mans and combines, and they're quite the players. So
And Guna is another staple name here. Has been around for quite a while, so definitely a great addition to any roster. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think she had her own run with MTL back in the day, if my memory serves correct. So I think this is an MTL for life sort of deal.
She said that in chat. Montreal for life. Guna is back, baby.
And there you have it. And with that, the next pick of the draft is in. It's the start of round 2. Montreal Stags with the back-to-back picks here. An Allari Enjoyer. Dill drafted as the first pick of round 2 to Montreal. And I believe that will be Montreal securing their backline there with Dill and Guna.
My support duo. No, I'm just kidding. But Dill, I know he's excited to play support this season. I played with him a couple of times in some tryouts and such, and I know he can flex to a bunch of different support players. So this is a great pick in terms of the supports in Emerald.
I think it's good to stabilize Dill with Guna. I've heard some talks of flank Yada shenanigans, or at least Dill experimenting with some of the more aggressive supports. So I think Guna will be a good foundation to have with your other support playing like that.
And we've got our next pick in. These Emerald GMs are not messing around here today. Maui Ancients, round 2. A Mercy player. It's Cake! This is not a surprise to me either. You know, we know Laggy has collected him as a blue beam Mercy here pocketing Genji, but we've seen him play the Flankiata, the Kiri, a bunch of different supports, the Ana, especially in Ruby too. Um, he's gonna do great things this season in Emerald, especially with the team that looks like Doge is starting to build.
Absolutely. And again, another really flexible player. I know in Ruby, what hero pool Cake has is sort of limited, but in Emerald, it really starts to open up. You see not only a variety of supports being played, but he flexes to DPS. And before I go off on a tangent, the next pick is in. And the Las Vegas Tyrants with their round 2 pick. Oh, a tank enjoyer. Quaza. Alright, locking in their second pick. And again, another household name. Honestly, just from watching the combines myself, I think Quaza's improved a lot. So I'm excited to see what they'll do this season in Emerald. I know Quaza last season was forever trying to get on a team and eventually being picked up through our FAs. And now going round 2 overall, that's pretty good. You love to see it, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
I am stoked as well. I mean, like you said, in the tryouts, he was flexing to a bunch of different roles, which is super beneficial for our team. And we saw him run it down on the support. We saw the Ana. We've seen a Moira from him. I'm excited to see his tank gameplay if that's what Trashcan decides to do here with him. And we have another pick in. New York Insomnia, round 2. Tracer. We've got Parasite, round 2. This is another staple mate in UR. He can flex, like I said, a bunch of different players. And, you know, I know Insanity and him kind of play similar roles. They did very well against each other. So I'm excited to see the head-to-head versus Sanity this season.
For sure, for sure. Especially if you've watched an Emerald stream, you know. If you look at the kill feed, Aeon's name is going to be there.
All the time.
And our next pick is in. We have the Lord Stan with Pittsburgh Phantoms, round 2 pick. A Reaper Enjoyer. Zeke, who could have saw it coming? It looks like Stan securing another member from his previous Pittsburgh roster.
I know Zeke has put in a lot of work over the last season and in the off season to become just a better player in general. So I'm excited to see the work he does this season for Pitt and for Stan. And, you know, I hope that I'm not in a Reaper Blossom from him.
Gonna say, you are Overwatch, tearing couples apart.
I know, and we sit so close, it's kind of dangerous. Just easily throw something off my desk, take off his head. And we've got another pick in here. Nashville Legends, round 2. A Pharah player. We've got Marked Up. The Insanity Marked Up duo is not happening this season, but we've seen Marked run it down. We've seen the crazy combos that he's done in Houston, and I think he's put in a lot of work playing with people like Laggy and Cake and his brother, Chris with a K. I mean, we've seen a lot of good stuff from him, so.
Absolutely. And again, I'll shout him out. He showed up to the combines. Not only was he doing really well, but I let him run a couple games in the Ruby combines, and he did fairly well, all things considered. Far's definitely his best hero, and he'll be definitely looking to wreak havoc on her. And with that, the next pick is in. The final pick of round 2, the Vancouver Wild will secure a Hanzo Enjoyer. Oh, cool individual. Who could have seen this coming? No, but honestly, cool. A super flexible player. I've ran a couple seasons with them as pretty much a flex player. I've been putting them wherever I needed them. Yeah, I think running their own team, they're gonna have a lot of fun this season, and I'm excited to see what they do, no matter what role they.
I'm excited too, and they have the next pick in this draft. So, and Icy is on the board. So I'm curious to see if we do get Van back together, and we're about to see because another pick is in.
Oh, the Kiri! Could it
My
be?
intuition has served me right. We're getting the gang back together. Vancouver, part 2.
You absolutely love to see it. I'm not gonna lie, I was holding my breath until I saw the Kiri pop up. I'm excited now.
I am shaking in my boots a little bit here. Icy ran it down as a Kiri in Ruby last season. We saw the work that he can do. He knows her kit well. And she's just a great support all the way around, so.
And the next pick is in. Let's see what Saucepan is cooking up here for Nashville. And another Kiri Enjoyer. Oh, it's you!
Me!
It's Piper, round 3 for the Nashville Legends.
Wow! I too am an avid Kiri enjoyer, and I know I've done VODs with you and Liam, and I really tried to kind of get her kit down and improve the best that I can, so I'm honored to be a round 3 pick, and I'm really excited because I get to play with Marked again.
I was gonna say, a duo spot being secured from previous franchises. You love to see it. You know there's synergy there.
I think. Oh. And another pick is in.
Yep, Prod letting us know the next pick is in.
Pittsburgh Phantoms, round 3. Beatdowns! Oh my gosh! Thunder ran this area. Gosh. It's upsetting for me. Great for Pitt. Thunder and I were just talking the other day, just confirming both of us were going to play this season, just so we could hopefully get some of the squad back together. But, oh man, he's going to do great. Oh, and him and Insanity.
I was gonna say, yeah. The Houston roster being divvied up, but not entirely left hung out to dry. Some of you have your counterparts to lean on.
I know. We still... Oh. We've got another pick.
The next pick is in. And what do we have? New York Insomnia with their round 3 pick. Oh. A Genji player. Quart going to New York Insomnia. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any knowledge of this player. I'm sorry for the lack of hype. Unless their Discord just does not match their BattleNet, I'm not sure, but I have no tabs on Quart. This is an unknown pick. We're in uncharted territory.
I do not know who Quart is either. The Genji is scary. I do not like a Genji player. The blade is nerve-wracking.
Genjis have notoriously run amok in Emerald, so maybe Bonaparte cooking with this pick.
Yeah, we'll see what Quart does in his rookie season here in UR, if it is the rookie season. And another pick. Las Vegas. A Doomfist Enjoyer. We've got Storm on the board for Las Vegas here in round 3. Notoriously ran it down on the Rhine last season on the Miami roster, but he was definitely doing some work as Doom in the combines and in the tryouts. Another tank that I just do not enjoy playing against.
I was gonna say, definitely an avid Doom enjoyer. We'll see how much Doom we get to see this upcoming season. You never know. We might see more Doom than Ryan. Fingers crossed.
I really hope that we get to see a little bit more of the Doom. Not against my team, but against other teams. Against other teams, for sure.
And the next pick is in. Maui Agents, with their round 3 pick, are looking at, okay, a support, a Moira Enjoyer, locking in Callahoo as their round 3 pick. And if I recall, I do think Callahoo was raising some hell as Moira last season. Obviously, not the most sought out support character, but when Moira works in a comp, it could be incredibly frustrating. You have a lot of healing output, she has great survivability, and I think I'm definitely excited to see what Maui cooks up with the rest of their picks here. Their roster is definitely looking intriguing to me.
It's kind of itching my brain too. I am not a Moira enjoyer, especially if they're on the opposite team again, because Moira just has like infinite suck for sure. I don't know. Like, I'm like 40 feet away and she's killing me and I'm done. And Callahoo is one of those ones that I hate to see. I hate to see her coming. And we've got another pick in here. This is the final round 3 pick, Montreal. Akiri Enjoyer. Big Green. Oh man. For those of you who don't know, he just got this character tattooed on him and it looks very cool. And he is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best supports to draft. He's so great on the comms, and I feel like he helped me so much on Houston, so he is a great asset to Montreal.
Absolutely. And I think with Big Green off the board, that just leaves Biscuit as the last surviving member of Houston right now. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, household names coming and going quick. And with that, we have the next pick. Start around 4, Montreal with the back-to-backs here. Oh, we see another Genji. Dead inside, locked in to the Montreal roster here in round 4.
I don't recall if he ever played the Genji here last season. I do recall a Cassidy. And if Genji is one of those things that he decides to play this season, I am shaking in my boots.
I don't know. We'll see. Pending Overwatch updates coming soon, we'll see what heroes are being played. But right now, Genji's pretty popular, so you might see him.
And we've got another pick here. Maui Ancients, round 4. A Lucio Enjoyer.
We'd love to see it.
Mort! Mort was killing it on the Lucio in the combines and in the tryouts. He is wall riding to the max. doing the classic Reddit Lucio type of thing.
I was gonna say
So
I'm gonna give some love to Mort. We love a feeder. We love an enter. Um, I haven't had too much interactions, but we have run some 10-mans together. I already have a little bit of a read on them. I think they're gonna be a pleasure to watch this season.
I know a lot of GMs had their eye on Mort this season as a support player. He can flex to the Kiri as well. I don't know if he plays anything else, but I'm nervous for the Lucio and hopeful that he doesn't get a boop kill on me. Anyway.
And the next pick is in LBT with their round 4 pick. Okay, a hit scan enjoyer. We have Crystal being secured for the round 4 slot for Las Vegas. And Crystal played, I believe, last season for KCC, if I'm not mistaken. KCC had a rough start, but I think once some of the roster changes came through, we definitely seen a more stable team environment, and I think Crystal was a big part of that. They ended up stepping into the captain role, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's when we started to see sort of KCC cement a little bit in their gameplay and in their roster. I think it was just too little too late, so I'm excited to see what they do this season.
I agree with you. I do think that she led the charge in KCC kind of being solidified in terms of, like you said, their picks and just their overall mentality. So this is another really good pick for not only a team's overall gameplay, but for their mental gameplay as well, because we've seen her take a team from down in the ditch. And we've got another pick here. New York Insomnia, round 4. An Ana enjoyer. It's Biscuit, the last Houston player remaining.
There it is. Houston has been all divvied up.
Very quick, I might add. So GMs were paying attention. They get it. They know. Don't put this team together. But Biscuit was a pleasure to play with last season. As I said for Crystal, he's just someone that can boost your mentality and really just keep a team glued together. And he is just great on the support role in general. He flexes to just about everything, so he's super capable of doing a lot for this New York team.
Absolutely. I'll have to agree too with the glue. I mean, there was definitely some silly times I remember from last season with Houston, Panda Biscuit facilitating the vibes. You love to see it. And with that, the next pick is in. And Pittsburgh with their round 4 pick. Signing Kamani, another staple name here in the UR Overwatch. Stan trying to cook up the dream team over there. Especially Kamani, known to flex back and forth from support and DPS. I think having flexible players is good, especially this season with hero bans being introduced. I think that pick will get some value.
I am right there with you. I agree with that. Kamani has been able to do a lot. She did a lot for Miami last season. And this May is definitely scary to see coming. And not only the May, but the Kiriko as well. She can definitely click some heads with her kunai. So, great asset. Great pick.
Oh, that's true. A nice reminder from Panda. Shout out Kamani for the help with graphics and stuff. Actually, shout out to just everyone in prod real quick. But yeah, Kamani has definitely been behind the scenes working on graphics here before. So just a shout out for that as well.
Okay, and we have another pick in here from Prod. Nashville Legends, round 4. A Junker Queen. Peach Crisp. Not a name that I'm familiar with, but I am excited to see a tank for this Nashville roster. Right?
Yes, for sure. And I believe this will be their rookie season here with us in UR. I have seen them at a couple combines. If my memory serves me right, they are a tank and support enjoyer. So looking to see great things out of Peach here in their rookie season. And the next pick is in. This will be the final pick of round 4. Cool, with the Vancouver Wild looking for a Mercy Enjoyer. Salty Jinx. This is another name that we've seen here in UR in previous seasons, and now looking to join the Vancouver roster with the run back. I'm excited. I love to see it.
I love to see it too. I am not an avid Mercy enjoyer, but man, is she hard to shoot as a Mercy player. She just moves so well. She has the Mercy kit down. So she will be great paired with whomever decides to play support. A great pair to Icy, Andrew, or Cool.
That's true. And we actually, Cool has back-to-backs here, so I'm excited to see who he has next to round out this roster.
Ooh, I do forget that they have back-to-back picks here. We've got a Mercy player, Diva, Kiri. Hanzo, I believe, was Cool's intro, correct?
Is a Hanzo enjoyer.
A Hanzo enjoyer. Hanzos aren't fun either. So, another DPS player, I presume, we're trying to look at here. We've got a couple of good ones on the board. And the pick is in now. The anticipation is over. Round 5. Amalgam. Gun in my hand and a smile on my face. It's Light.
Of course. Light making another crack at the Emerald bracket here. Let's not forget, he did win a chip with Dow. Despite Detroit's shortcomings last season, is a 100% stable hit scan player. Looking to hopefully make a big splash here in this season.
Absolutely. And I think that the people that he's paired with will be great. I mean, this team is already looking super scary, and I know Andrew has it down with the comms, so they are going to run it down, it seems.
And the next pick is in. This will be the second pick of round 5. A Lucio enjoyer. And there it is, Tracer Eraser finding their home with the Nashville Legends.
A lot of Lucio enjoyers.
We love to see it.
If I recall last season, Anna, or no, it was Juno. Juno was their intro here. And I know that they can flex to a bunch of different supports as well. So hero bands might not touch them. Their game sense is great. Just playing in combines with them, watching them in general chat. So I'm excited to play with them this season.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. I think there's enough flexibility there. You probably won't see any hero bands outright really affecting them, which is huge.
Okay, and we've got another pick in here from Prod. Pittsburgh Phantoms, round 5. A Mercy Enjoyer, Asura Sakura. We've seen Asura in tryouts, in combines, just playing in general. She joined Montreal last season later on, and she was insane on the Mercy. The reses were crazy.
No, absolutely. And like you said, Asura Sakura, a returning name here in UR. One of the prominent members of Emerald Backline, stretching a couple seasons. They took a brief intermission, a holiday, but like you said, last season they came back to UR, and excited to see what they're doing this season. Shout out to Guna in the chat. All the girls do be girling right now.
So true.
And the next pick is in New York Insomnia. Looking at a Hog player. And there it is, Dragon Master off the board, finding his home here alongside Bonaparte. And even though Hog is their premier tank, we do see a lot of support action out of Dragon Master, especially in these UR matches a lot of the time. So definitely a good member to have in your backline.
I definitely agree with you. He played a lot of the BAP last season. He could flex to Reaper, Cassidy. Another person that hero bans won't necessarily touch them in a sense, just because I feel like I've seen them play so many different characters that it's beneficial for someone to go ahead and grab them. And I know Biscuit was talking about teaming with Dragon, and they run it down in the New York server, so the team up is happening. And we've got another pick in Las Vegas, round 5. Another Mercy Enjoyer, the Janitor. We saw the Janitor on KCC last season. Just part of that glue with Crystal and Mercy. I don't even recall if I saw a Mercy from them.
If memory serves me right, I believe Janitor also is a tank enjoyer. I know several seasons ago, they had an absolutely goated series or two on Zarya. I believe they got picked up to play tank. And I have run into them in quick play playing the Winston. So I do believe they are also a tank enjoyer.
Oh, wow. The Mercy to Winston gap is just so large here.
Oh, and Prod has another pick coming in for us. The Maui Ancients. Looking at a Brig Enjoyer. You love to see it, and that's Recoil being secured for Maui. A huge advocate for 10-mans. One of the 10-mans hype men alongside Cake and Laggy there. Glad to see that she found her home. Here with Doge and the Maui Ancients.
And Recoil in a bunch of the Emerald tryouts was able to kind of play the Zarya and the Diva. I don't recall if there was a DPS play in there, but they are definitely one of those flex players as well. A lot of flexes this season, which I'm excited to see. Ooh, and we've got another pick. Final round 5 pick, by the way. Montreal Stags. A Reinhardt. It's Booger Bear.
Of course, you love to see a Booger Rhine on the map. there was some absolutely legendary duels last season with Booger and some of the other Rhines and Emerald. I'm definitely excited to see MTL run some Rhine shenanigans this season.
I do love Orion Shenanigan here in Emerald. It is quite silly goofy, and Booger Bear knows how to do it right. He knows how to keep the people entertained.
Especially, I think with his backline, Goonadill, I think there's going to be some Rhine shenanigans.
Surely. And you can't forget about Green either.
For sure. And Prod, let us know. The next pick is in. This is the first pick of round 6, our last round in the Emerald Draft. MTL signing Dill. We got another Dill off the board. There's too many of you. You're multiplying. I'm gonna have to ask you all to stop here. But yeah, I believe that's all the Dills we have. All the Dills have officially been taken off the board. Someone make a note of that.
I think so too. And ironically enough, they were manifesting in chat that they ended up on the same team. And here they are. That's not going to be confusing at all.
Surely casters don't have any problems when those two are played at the same time.
We've got another pick in here from Prod. Maui Ancients, round 6. A Juno player. It's that guy. And if I recall, I think this is the last pit member as well getting picked up.
I think so. I'm sorry. I'm still reeling from the double Dills. I'm not gonna lie. That's just gonna be stuck in my head. But yeah, definitely a solid pick from Maui. I think I've seen quite a few of these faces in the combines, so yeah, I think that's a solid pick to round out your roster if you're Doge. And the next pick is in. LVT's last pick of the Emerald Draft. Oh, a Soldier Enjoyer, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Bowsy is off the table. LVT stepped up, locked in, and they did it. They secured Bowser. Don't forget, he has a 100% win rate in Ruby, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to be taking that experience to Emerald. So everyone better buckle up.
I know that we clown on Bowsy a lot, but he is a great pick to round out LVT's roster, or any team's roster realistically. He's just such a good time, and he's great to keep the spirits up, and great for kind of locking teams in and getting down to business. And another pick. New York Insomnia, round 6. A Sombra Enjoyer. It's Nikki. I hope I read that right. Not a name I am familiar with, but as Guna is saying in chat, the girls are girling this season in United Rogue in Emerald League.
No, for sure. And Nikki is a former player for War, one of the War Emerald rosters. So they have played here in UR Overwatch. They have some experience under their belt. And yeah, like Guna said, the girls are definitely girling. You love to see it.
We're starting a queue.
And with that, the next pick is in. So Lord Staniel on the board with his last pick. Signs Nevro to his last spot on the roster.
I
Assume you're an enjoyer.
I'm an avid Nevro enjoyer. He's been doing a lot of work in this off season, trying to better his game sense, mechanics, all of the goods. So, and not only that, but a team up with Zeke, which is one of his Rocket League teammates and just friends IRL. So, great vibes in the pit server.
Absolutely. You love to see synergy. You love to see duos or friends get the team ups. I think it brings a lot to this team. And like you said, putting work in the offseason definitely helps. And I know Stan with his private coaching chat over there in the Pittsburgh server has been cooking up a storm.
He definitely has. And with that, the next pick. Nashville Legends, round 6. A Tracer. Not Nevro. Someone else.
Just say, I think we got graphics messed up a little bit, or there's been a miscommunication. Or maybe we have two Nevros? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna get a redo here.
I'm gonna redo that. Alright, Nashville Legends, round 6. For real this time. A Tracer enjoyer. It's Dave.
There we go. Getting things rounded out a little bit. And Dave finding a home with the Nashville Legends. You love to see it. Dave has had runs here in UR before. I believe their background is in COD, but they've seemed pretty dedicated to want to pick up and get a better understanding of Overwatch, so you love to see it.
I agree, and I know he's been going on the Marvel Rivals grind a little bit, but he was definitely, I do think he is a COD enjoyer, a COD player, as most of the people on Detroit or last season. So, hit scan coming your way.
And with that, the final pick of your Emerald draft is in. The Vancouver Wild will be opting for Chelsea. Okay, and that will round out Vancouver's roster. Not only that, but with that pick, we've officially reached the end of our Emerald draft.
I am super stoked for this season. I'm excited to see how the teams turn out. Week 1 matches together.
Absolutely. I think we definitely have some iconic duos, and I think you're going to see a lot of that this season. There's definitely going to be some big synergies around some of these big puzzle pieces of rosters. You have Pittsburgh, was it, securing Insanity and Thunderstorm. We have Double Dills. Vancouver's getting the band back together. I think there's crazy stuff we're going to be able to look out for in Emerald this season. And I'm excited.
Me too. The Double Dills is still throwing me off, and it will throw me off for the rest of the season. Playing a series with them is going to be a catastrophe for my brain, but that's okay.
And while I'm here, while we have everyone in chat, I'm just going to shout out, keep your eyes open on the community announcements. One of the Dills and Recoil are looking to cook up a community night, a movie night. I've already looked at the Google sheet. There's some movie choices on there. There's some real bangers. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you're looking for some more UR community engagement outside of our normal Overwatch stuff.
Yeah. I think there's going to be like a Google form or something like that to fill out a movie idea, which is going to be super fun. So, like Rico said, stay tuned.
Well, with that, that's everything. I hope everyone is excited and happy with where they ended up. For those who didn't get drafted, you're still eligible on the FA sheet to get picked up. We had quite a lot of waiver wire signs last season and substitutes being used. But yeah, I can't wait for the next season of UR, and we'll see you the week of the 17th. See you all there.
See you then.